பயாலஜி இன் தமிழ் கோர்வை சேனல் சார்பாக அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பெயர் கண்ணதாசன். In this video, I am going to present the concept megasporogenesis. This is part of the female reproductive system in angiosperms, and it involves the formation of the egg cell at the end. Already we discussed about the microsporogenesis, in which the pollen grains are produced, and the previous video you please visit our playlist, in which the microsporogenesis and the structure of pollen grains are all given. Okay, and this video also going to be accompanied by one Google Doc Forms question paper, students. This question paper involves 20 MCQ that will be useful for both NEET students and board students. And once you press this submit button, immediately you will get the result. Within 1 or 2 days, you will be getting it in the description, that question paper. And descriptive, it is only meant for board student. The board student can write it in the separate notebook, and you can do your self correction. I wish all the students to get full mark in that particular question paper. All the best, my dear students. I hope you will like this video, students. If you like this, please press the like button, share this video to your friend, comment on it, subscribe our Biology in Tamil Korvai channel, and press the bell icon to receive the notification of our videos. Now let us enter into this video. Megasporogenesis itself asked, okay, describe the megasporogenesis in 5-mark question. And as usual, I want you to take the notebook, book, textbook, and also a pen, and whenever you feel it is important, you please take note of it. It will be very useful for you in the revision, right? Now megasporogenesis can be asked. What is megasporogenesis? 2-mark question. Describe megasporogenesis, 5-mark. The process of, you see, the process of development of a megaspore. Okay, this is the megaspore mother cell, then this is the megaspore. So the development of megaspore from a megaspore mother cell, this is also called as MMC. MMC, Madras Medical College. Likewise, you can remember, now the name is changed, but old name is Madras Medical College, MMC. Okay, likewise megaspore mother cell. Okay, likewise you can relate some known well-known concept with the unknown concept, so that you are able to remember the unknown concept. So this is one of the skill that you can develop. Now this is only called as megasporogenesis. Okay, so this is the megaspore mother cell, and this is actually going to develop as a ovule, and this is the one which is going to become functional megaspore, Orchisporium. Write note on Orchisporium in megasporogenesis. Can be asked in 2-mark question. You please take note of it. As the ovule develops, a single hypodermal cell. What is hypodermal cell? The cell which is present below the epidermis are called as hypodermal cells. You will be you would have learnt in your 11th standard anatomy. Hypodermis, the layer of cell present below the epidermis. Here also you see this is the epidermis. Okay, and this is the hypodermal layer. One of the hypodermal cell differentiate itself. Okay, differentiate itself as orchisporial cell. You see, hypodermal cell in the nucellus become enlarged and function as orchisporium. So this is the orchisporial cell. It is the hypodermal cell. What happened to the orchisporial cell? What is the fate of the orchisporial cell? The question can be asked in 2-mark question. In some plants, the orchisporial cell may directly function as megaspore mother cell. So this is one of the chance. Very clear? In some species, it may directly act as a megaspore mother cell. In others, it may undergo a transverse division. So it may undergo a transverse division, you see, and form an outer parietal cell and inner sporogenous cell. Outer parietal and inner sporogenous cell. So 2 cells are formed in some species, right? Next, what is the fate of parietal cell? So this is one of the continuity. It is coming down, right? The parietal cell may remain undivided, or by few it may undergo few periclinal and anticlinal division. So it may undergo few periclinal and anticlinal division. What for? Question can be asked in one more question. To embed the primary sporogenous cell deep into the nucellus. So the primary sporogenous cell here. Now because of the periclinal and anticlinal division which take place in the outer parietal cell, it leads to the pushing of this sporogenous cell deep into the nucellus, because the nucellus is the nutritive tissue that developing this sporogenous cell. Okay, and also the megasporogenesis and the formation of embryo sac, all this requires nutrients. So those nutrients can be easily obtained once it is deeply penetrating into the nucellus. So that is the reason why in some species few periclinal and anticlinal division take place. So I think a question can be asked technically here in one more question. Okay, what for this periclinal and anticlinal division take place? So it will be very useful for NEET students. Now you see here, uh, this is overall picture I gave here. This is the hypodermal cell, archisporial cell. Archisporial cell undergo mitosis, transverse division we learnt, outer parietal, inner sporogenous. Then it undergo few periclinal and anticlinal division. So it pushes the inner sporogenous cell or embed. See the word embed means pushes. Okay, deep into the nucellus, right? So likewise, frequently you can recollect the points that you have learnt, so that it will be very useful for you and it will be kept in your long-term memory, students. Then meiotic division in MMC. What is MMC? Already I told you, megaspore mother cell. The primary sporogenous cell function as a megaspore mother cell. The primary sporogenous cell act as a megaspore mother cell. Are you clear? So the parietal cell, it is over. Okay, once it is pushing the there is a sporogenous cell into the nucellus, its function is over. Now megaspore is taking over for the development. The megaspore mother cell undergo meiotic division to form 4 haploid megaspore, students. You see, it forms 4 haploid megaspores through meiosis. And you know very well, meiosis is a reduction division. It takes place only in the gametes and it takes place twice, as meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So naturally, first meiotic division leads to the formation of 2 haploid cells. Second meiotic division leads to the formation of 2 to 4. So each cell produce 2 cells, haploid cells again. Okay, so totally at the end of meiosis, how many cells are formed? It is 4. Then one more point you have to remember, it is a reduction division, so the chromosome number is reduced to half. Are you clear? So number increases but chromosome number decreases. It means cell number increases, chromosome number decreases. Point to be noted. Okay. So based on this, one NEET question can be asked. So this is about meiosis which take place in the megaspore mother cell. Now it is there are types of megasporogenesis, students. What are the types? Monosporic, monosporic type, bisporic type, tetrasporic type. Okay, so it can be asked in one 2 more question. What are the types of megasporogenesis? Monosporic, bisporic and tetrasporic. And here I gave the picture for monosporic. Monosporic means of the 4 megaspore formed from megaspore mother cell, right? 4 haploid, remember that. Only one survive, rest of the 3 degenerate. That one megaspore only form the embryo sac. Then it is called as monosporic. Then sometimes 2 megaspore may survive, 2 degenerate, and 2 there is megaspore survived from the embryo sac. In the third category, all the 4 survive, all the 4 involved in the formation of embryo sac. That is, it is called as tetrasporic. So these are the 3 basic types. Functional megaspore. The megaspore are usually arranged in a linear tetrad. Linear tetrad. Tetra means 4. Linear means one below the other. Linear tetrad. Of the 4 megaspore formed, usually chalazal 1 is functional. So this is the chalazal 1, and this is the micropylar end, and this is the chalazal end of the ovule, and this is going to be the integument. You see, this is going to be the integument. So here the micropylar end, and this is the chalazal end. So the megaspore which is present in the chalazal end alone will survive, become functional, then the rest of the 3 will disappear. Monosporic type, also known as polygonum type. The functional megaspore forms the female gametophyte, right? The pollen tube is the male gametophyte. Here embryo sac is the female gametophyte. Are you clear? So the gametophyte is going to produce the gametes. That is the reason why it is called as gametophyte. And you here, in order to understand this, you must have some basic understanding from the alternation of generation. Alternation of generation, it takes place from bryophyte, pteridophyte. It means gametophytic phase alternate with the sporophytic phase. Now here in angiosperm, the spores are produced first, then gametophytes originate second. The gametophyte produces the gametes. Already megaspores are produced. Megaspore is going to form the female gametophyte. It is otherwise called as embryo sac. This type of development is called monosporic development. Example, polygonum. You see here, these 3 disintegrate. This alone survives. That undergo first mitotic division, 2 nuclei are formed. Second mitotic division, 4 nuclei are formed. Third mitotic division. So monosporic condition usually undergo how many mitosis? Question can be asked. 3 mitosis. 3 mitosis, 8 cells or 8 nuclei are formed. You see 3 plus 3 at the center 2, 8 nuclei, 8 nucleotide stage. So this is the embryo sac. Embryo sac otherwise called as female gametophyte. Now you can see here micropyle, and this is the chalazal end. Polygonum, little bit extra information. Polygonum type, monosporic embryo is also called as polygonum type. Polygonaceae family. Polygonum belongs to Polygonaceae family. Example, Persicaria glabra. Persicaria glabra. Artrillary. Tamil name Artrillary. English common name smart weed, knockweed. Likewise, it can be called. Okay, so this is just extra information. Okay, with respect to various competitive examination. So what level they stop asking the question, we do not know. So it is better to go extra. Are you clear? Next, megasporogenesis. Of the 4 megaspores formed, okay, 2, if the 4 megaspores are formed, if 2 are involved in embryo sac formation. Now you can see bisporic type. Are you clear? And a typical example is allium. Okay, and you know very well about allium, allium cepa. And here you see megaspore mother cell. Right, megaspore mother cell undergo 2 meiotic division consecutively. I already told you 4 nuclei are formed with haploid condition, in which 2 nuclei degenerate, so 2 survives. Of the 2 survives, it undergo 2 mitotic division in order to form 8 nuclei at the end. So 8 nuclei involved in the formation of, you see, embryo sac. Are you clear? So in monosporic type, I told you usually 3 mitotic division take place in order to produce 8 nuclei. In bisporic type, 2 mitotic division only take place in order to produce 8 nuclei, in which one will be the egg. Okay, and naturally rest of them will be as usual 2 synergids, 2 polar nuclei and 3 antipodals. Okay, so this is called as allium type bisporic. Okay, next tetrasporic. Here all the 4, no megaspore is degenerating. All the 4 involved in the formation of embryo sac. Are you clear? Embryo sac formation. The development is tetrasporic. Example, peperomia. In peperomia group of plants, right? this type of tetrasporic condition exists. Okay, megasporogenesis, tetrasporic peperomia. Here, as usual, meiosis 1, meiosis 2 take place, right? It is followed by mitosis 1. So all the 4 become 8. Mitosis 2, 8 becomes 16. So in tetrasporic type, 16 nuclei are formed. But in monosporic and bisporic, 8 nuclei are formed at the end. Okay, now you can see one of the egg at the that is micropylar end, one synergid. This is peperomia type, they call it as peperomia type. Likewise, there are variety of types are there, right? So peperomia type I am presenting you, okay, in which one egg cell, one synergid, 6 antipodals are formed. You see 6 antipodals, and rest of them are becoming polar nuclei staying at the center, in which depends upon the species, 2 may join together and form diploid secondary nucleus, or 3 may join together and form triploid. Likewise, there are variations exist. Okay, so 16 cells participate in embryo sac formation, students. Okay, next, development of monosporic embryo sac. Development of monosporic, we are going to discuss exclusively about the monosporic type, and this can be asked in 5 mark question, student. The functional megaspore is the first cell of the embryo sac. The functional megaspore, right, is the first cell of the embryo sac or female gametophyte. The megaspore elongates. You see the megaspore elongates along the micropylar chalazal axis. This is the micropylar end I told you. This is the chalazal. So this is the axis. Micropylar chalazal axis. It elongates. Okay. Next. The haploid nucleus undergo mitosis, students. Right. The nucleus undergo mitotic division. Formation does not follow. It means nuclear division not followed by the cell wall formation. Okay, so what happens? See, this is what usually happens during the embryo sac formation till it is forming the 8 nuclei. Okay, so a large central vacuole after the first division, large central vacuole appears. This is the 2-celled stage, right? 2 nucleated stage. So a central vacuole appears, it elongates, it pushes both the nuclei towards the opposite poles, right? Towards the opposite poles. That is the point to be noted here. The vacuole expands and pushes the nuclei towards the opposite poles of embryo sac. Towards the opposite poles of embryo sac. The vacuole expands and pushes the nuclei towards the opposite poles of the embryo sac. Both the nuclei divide twice mitotically, forming 4 nuclei at each pole. 4 nuclei at each pole. Now it has reached, because of the elongation of the vacuole, enlargement of the vacuole, the nuclei, haploid nuclei are pushed towards the poles. After going over there, they undergo 2 successive mitotic division. So it leads to the formation of 4 nuclei towards the micropylar end and 4 nuclei towards the chalazal end. Okay, understood? Now, at this stage, all the 8 nuclei present in the common cytoplasm. You see, all the 8 nuclei are present in a common cytoplasm. Polynucleated type also we can say. Okay, because it is in the common cytoplasm, no cell wall is formed. Okay, so because of the free nuclear division they are telling. Free nuclear division. Cellular organization of the embryo sac. Now the cell wall is formed. After the last nuclear division, the cell undergoes appreciable elongation. Okay, cell undergoes appreciable elongation, assuming the sac-like appearance. That's the reason why it is called as embryo sac. It is called as embryo sac. Okay, so sac-like appearance. This is followed by the cellular organization of the embryo sac. Cellular organization of the embryo sac. You see, of the 4 nuclei at the micropylar end. So these are the 4 nuclei at the micropylar end. Okay, 3 organize into egg apparatus. You see, these 3 organizes into egg apparatus. This is the egg apparatus. 3 organizes into egg apparatus. in which two are synergids. So here what happened? Cell wall is formed. Cell wall is formed. That is the meaning here. Organized into, so embryo sac alone can be asked. Describe the structure of embryo sac. Question can be asked. Very clear. So this can be one of the 5-mark question. And the cell wall is formed. So two synergids. Okay, at the middle, what is formed? Egg. So all these three called as egg apparatus. So egg cell is different, egg apparatus is different. Very clear? The fourth one, what happened to the fourth one? The fourth one is left free in the cytoplasm. The fourth one left free in the cytoplasm of the central cell as the upper polar nucleus. Very clear? So this is the central cell, total central cell, and this is the antipodal region. Very clear? So there are two nuclei or at the two nuclei are in the central cell, in which one is coming from upper side. So it is called as upper polar nucleus. One is coming from lower side, lower polar nucleus. Three nuclei of the chelazal end form the three antipodal cells. Very clear? Three antipodal cells. These are the three antipodal cells. Okay. Whereas the fourth one, as usual, I told you, okay, function as the lower polar nucleus. So one is upper polar nucleus and another one is lower polar nucleus. Depending on the plant, two polar nuclei may remain free or it may fuse. Either it remain free or it may fuse. Based on this also question can be asked. Okay, what is the fate of these two polar nuclei which are present at the that is central cell of the embryo sac? Likewise, the question can be asked. Two choices are there. Either it can fuse or it can remain free. Once it is fused, then it is called a secondary nucleus. Secondary nucleus. What is secondary nucleus? 2-mark question. Okay, so secondary nucleus of the central cell. Now the egg apparatus is made up of, okay, central egg cell. This is the central egg cell and two synergids. These are the two synergids. One on each side of the egg cell. One on each side of the egg cell. Synergids secretes. This is a very important point. What is the role of synergids in the fertilization? The question can be asked. Point number 1. 2-mark question, students. Synergids secrete chemotropic. It attracts the pollen tube. It attracts the pollen tube of the same species or male gamete, chemotropic substance that helps to attract the pollen tube. So the pollen tube enters inside. Okay. Now you see the filiform apparatus of synergid. This is the second function. The special cellular thickening take place in the synergids. That is called as filiform apparatus of synergids. What is the function? Okay, it helps in the absorption and conduction of nutrients from the new cell layers. You see, this is the filiform apparatus. These are the synergy. These are the cellular thickening, forming the what is it? Filiform apparatus. It absorbs the nutrients and conduct the nutrients. Okay, towards the embryo sac. Okay, that is new cells to the embryo sac. Okay, and also we already learned it is chemotropic. It produces the chemotropic substances. It attracts the pollen tube. You see the development of pollen tube take place. This is the pollen tube nucleus and two male gametes, right? So that is what given here. It also guides the pollen tube into the egg. So the question can be asked, what are the functions of the synergids? Very clear. So it helps in the absorption and conduction of nutrients as a that is a chemotropic substance. It helps to attract the pollen tube and guide the pollen tube to go and fertilize the egg. Thus, at the end, okay, seven cell. You say 1, 2, egg cell 3, and here antipodals 3, 6, and this is the central cell. The whole mass of central cell with two nuclei. That is the point to be noted. So 7-celled with 8 nucleated embryo sac is formed, right? So this is the end of this video, students. Thank you very much for watching. Please wait for the Google Doc form question paper. All the best to get full mark in that question paper. Thank you.